which is part of our agenda. I'd like to give the town board since one of the purposes of having this presentation is to answer questions the board may have. And that is why we invited Mr. Wickler here tonight. So I'm going to open it to the board if you have questions, and then we'll be opening to the floor in 2 minutes.
We got one.
Sure.
How large is a well recharge area?
For wells, I spent 18 years defining wellhead, what we call wellhead protection areas. It typically, you start with a 200-foot radius that you must own around it, and then it goes out from there. So you're probably talking anywhere, it depends on the amount of water that you're pumping, like the size of the community. Obviously, the city of Norwich has a fairly large wellhead protection area. So smaller community like this, 40, 50, 60 acres, something like that. Smaller than a watershed, let's just put it that way.
Other questions for Dr. Jack? Now, when you get to the point of, if you get to the point of writing a local regulation.
Not a local regulation.
Not a local regulation, just a designation then.
It's a resolution. I don't know if you do resolutions or you do motions.
We do both.
Yeah, you just actually have canned ones that, like fill in the blank. It's just, it's a very prescribed methodology.
And then what we would have to have prior to that is you have to have the area map and designate.
Yep, you have to have a map. You have to post in your local paper, the meeting. What I'm not 100% sure on, George, quite honestly, I'll look into it further. I don't think the communities I've worked at have done it, but it doesn't mean it's right. You don't have to individually notify every property owner within the CEA. You have to, obviously, just like you advertise any meeting, you have to put it in the paper at a certain minimum time beforehand. And you have to forward on to DEC all the proof that you've done all that. And the actual act of declaring or designating a CEA is subject to secret. Is it got a positive impact? Obviously, be a negative declaration. It's not going to have a negative impact on the environment. So.
Now, do you have to do a simple form for that, or do you do the detail?
I think we can do that.
Other questions, board members?
Just so you know, the other places I'm doing it right now are all for public water systems. And that's what our focus is. I mean, that's quite honestly what we do. But if you look through online, you'll see them for a lot of, all different bodies of water, wetlands, natural areas. It's kind of interesting to look at all the different ones that have been identified.
Okay, thank you. If there are no other board questions, what we're going to be doing in a minute here is opening to public comment from the floor, which is item number 4 on our agenda. Before doing so, I'd like to review some of the policies and procedures that have been adopted by the board tonight, and I don't know if there are any index cards, so over there, if you'd like to speak during public comment, we have 15 numbered cards. I do have a timer. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes to make their statements. Speakers will be courteous in their language and their presentation. And speakers will direct their statements to the town board as a whole and not to individuals in the room or to members of the audience. If you have questions of Steve, please direct them to the board. And if he's able, we'll see if you can answer those for you. There will be no discussion or debate between speakers or members of the audience. If people cannot abide by these basic procedures, which we've had in place since October of 2011, the town board may choose to end public comment. At this point in time, we're going to begin with whoever has number 1.
I do. I just really want to thank Steve for coming today. I think that's a great presentation, and I also thank the board for giving time to this, because I think that if you look at the comprehensive Guilford Plan Study, that question number 36 says, if you favor town-level regulations of gas drilling, which of the following activities do you feel appropriate? 80.4% said restricting drilling in environmentally sensitive areas such as watershed. And we know that Guilford Lake is that type of thing. Right now, I know the board is considering specific wells. You know that's gonna take time. You're not gonna just pop a well in. That could be 1 year, could be 2 years, and I bet you a well is in the watershed area, which is a 2-mile radius. So I think that this is a no-brainer to have a CEA, and I really hope that you put the referendum out very promptly, because I find that things move very slowly up here. And I think time is of the essence, and I really think this is a great idea, and thank you for giving it consideration. Thanks again, Steve.